So today what we'll be working on is a system of linear quadratic equations. So I would like you to do the try this, which is to factor and solve. So you're going to solve the quadratic equations here. All right, so you're going to factor, set each factor equal to 0, and solve. They are trinomial, so you're going to do master product. And then come back and check your answers. Okay, so for number 1, so remember when we do master product, we're going to multiply the first times the last. So x squared times negative 15 is negative 15x squared. Now we say to ourselves, what multiplies to 15 minuses to a 2? That would be 5x and 3x. When you multiply 5 times 3, it has to give us negative 15. That means they have to be different signs. But when we add, it has to give us negative 2. So it's going to be negative 5 and positive 3. Bring down the end, minus 15. Don't forget to equal 0. Bring down the front, x squared. All right, now remember 4 terms. We factor by grouping. Group the first 2 terms, that's in the blue. And the last 2 terms are in the purple. So in the blue, the GCF is x, and then we get x minus 5. In the purple, I have a plus here, so I bring down the plus. GCF is 3, so it's x minus 5 equals 0. So my 2 factors are x plus 3, x minus 5 equals 0. T-chart, set each one equal to 0, x plus 3 equals 0, minus 3, x equals negative 3. X minus 5 equals 0, add 5, x equals 5. All right, let's take a look at number 2. So we have here x squared minus 5x plus 6 equals 0. So multiply the first times the last. And when we multiply the first times the last, we get positive 6x squared. So now what multiplies to 6 adds to 5. That would be 3x and 2x. When we multiply 3 times 2, it has to give us positive 6. That means they have to be the same sign. But when we add them, we have to get negative 5. So it has to be a negative negative. Bring down the plus 6 at the end. Make sure it still equals 0. And bring down the x squared. All right, so we have 4 terms. So now we're going to factor by grouping. Blue group. Yellow group. In the blue group, the GCF is x times x minus 3. In the yellow group, notice there's a minus here, so bring the minus down. So the GCF then is negative 2. Then we have x minus 3, still equal to 0. Set up your factors. X minus 2 times x minus 3 equals 0. T-chart, set them equal to 0 and solve. X minus 2 equals 0. X minus 3 equals 0. Add 2. X equals 2. Add 3. X equals positive 3. Okay, so let's talk about a system of linear quadratics. So we're going to solve a system like we've done before, but we did it with linear. So now we're going to do a quadratic and a linear. So one's going to have an x squared and one's just a regular equation. So the first thing is you're going to make sure both are in y equals form. Then you're going to set the equations equal to each other. You're going to make your new equation equal to 0. You're going to solve. It will be a quadratic, so we're going to solve. We'll factor to solve this. Plug each x in to find a y value. So if you get 2 x's, you're going to get 2 y's. Write your solution as a point. Well, it'll actually be 2 solutions. And then you're going to verify the solution, which means to check. All right, so let's take a look at this. I have here my quadratic is y equals x squared minus 6x plus 5. And my linear is y plus 7 equals 2x. So this is not in y equals form. The first one is good. So the second one, we have to put y equals, so we're going to minus 7. Y equals 2x minus 7. Now we could set the equations equal to each other. It doesn't matter which one you put on which side. So x squared minus 6x plus 5 equals 2x minus 7. Most people like to have their quadratic, the x squared on the left, so if that's what you prefer, that's fine. All right, now you have to take this equation and get it equal to 0. Remember, we always want to keep x squared positive. Since this is positive, move this 2x minus 7 over to the left. So we're going to minus 2x. Put that right under the 6x. And we'll add 7 and put that under the 5. So we get x squared minus 8x plus 12 equals 0. All right, now we're going to factor doing master product. Sorry, the bottom of this is so dark. All right, so we multiply the first times the last, so we get positive 12x squared. So what multiplies to 12 adds to 8. That'd be 6x and 2x. All right, so when we multiply 6 times 2, it has to be positive 12. That means they have to be the same signs, but when we add, it has to be negative 8, so it has to be negative, negative. Bring down the 12 and bring down the x squared. Now I have 4 terms. Remember, 4 terms is factored by grouping. All right, in the green group, the GCF is x, and then we get x minus 6. In the red group, I notice there's a negative here. Bring the negative down. That helps you with the signs. The GCF then is 2. And then I get x minus 6. All right, so write down your factors. So we get x minus 2, x minus 6 equals 0. So yes, I do know that this is a long process. All right, now you're going to take each one, set it equal to 0. X minus 2 equals 0. X minus 6 equals 0. Add 2. X equals 2. Add 6. X equals 6. All right, so now that we found the x values, now we want to find the y values. So what I would do is I would just continue right from here. Draw your line down a little bit more. And just to keep everything nice and separated. Okay, so we're going to put here find y. Find y. Now remember, I always like to pick the easy equation. That would be which one? So go back to the beginning. So here's one equation. Sorry about that. And you don't have to use this one. Only use that one for the check. And we have this one. Y equals 2x minus 7. Obviously, this one's easier to use. So y equals 2x minus 7. So let's write that down. So y equals 2x minus 7. Write that on both sides. So if I have 2 x values, I'm going to have 2 y values. So plug in x on the left. Y equals 2 times 2 minus 7. So that's 4. You can plug this into the calculator. 4 minus 7 is negative 3. And now on to the other side. Y equals 2 times now my x is 6 minus 7. So that's 12 minus 7, which is 5. All right, write the word solution. We have 2 solutions. Remember, you're writing them as a point. So over here, 2 comma negative 3. Over here, 6 comma 5. All right, now you have to verify the solution set. Okay, so let's write that down. Verify the solution. Remember, that means to check. All right, so we have 2 solutions. 2 comma negative 3 and 6 comma 5. So you have to check both. So draw a line between them. All right, let's write down the original first equation, which is y equals x squared minus 6x plus 5. Write that on both sides. Now we're going to check each one. All right, so I'm going to start with the 2 and negative 3. So y is negative 3. Use parentheses, 2 squared minus 6 times 2 plus 5. This whole thing, just plug in your calculator. And you get negative 3 equals negative 3, and that checks. Now we're going to check 6, 5, same equation. 5 equals 6 squared, use parentheses, minus 6 times 6 plus 5. Just plug that all into the calculator. You get 5 equals 5, and that checks. All right, now we have to check the other equation. Remember, always check original. Let me just draw my line down a little bit more. So remember, my original was y plus 7 equals 2x. Write that on both sides. Y plus 7 equals 2x. All right, on the left side, I'm going to plug in 2 and negative 3. So negative 3 plus 7 equals 2 times 2. 4 equals 4. Check. Now we're going to plug in 6, 5. So 5 plus 7 equals 2 times 6. 12 equals 12. Check. Okay, so that's it. And we want everybody to have a good day. Have a good night. I'll see you guys tomorrow.